دخرت عليهم بينات رسولهم.
Did you know that it is an abomination to sweep at night because you will lose your wealth when you do so? What of breaking a mirror, bringing bad luck to you for 7 years? Have you heard of an unending bad luck upon seeing a black cat? Did you know that many luxurious funerals are held just to ensure safe passage of the deceased to the land of the dead?
Such beliefs have led to the death of millions of people all over the world. In this episode, we look at it and also highlight the negative impact of it on individuals, groups, and societies. The dark pages of history, tainted with the blood of innocent ones, calls on us to unravel the mysteries behind these superstitious beliefs, be it the 15th century in Europe, where innocent and vulnerable ones were targeted and burned to ashes on the charges of unproven witchcraft and tales of untold superstitions, or the witch trial in history that happened in Salem, in America, where people were put to death. The hunt is not over. Africa has been a target.
Superstition is the belief that particular events happen in a way that cannot be explained by reason or science. A belief that particular events bring good or bad luck. Superstition is more linked to paganism, and this has formed part of our traditional culture today, which makes them inseparable. Let's trace the roots of this stigma, a stigma that is baseless, with no source, and targets the weak and vulnerable. Statistics say that only 30% of people are not superstitious, and researchers say that this does not include those who do not want to admit it. Thus, 2/3 of the world is superstitious. Despite our development in this modern world, people still believe in them, like a lucky cup or lucky boots of footballers.
This implies that superstitions were much more prevalent in conditions of absence of confidence, insecurity, fear, and stress and anxiety. When there were no explanations to these happenings, they were attributed to something to cover their ignorance, which also birthed superstition. The ravaging seas, the crashing thunders, the sudden lightning, the eclipse are all ascribed to angry gods who would be pacified with the sacrifice of human blood. All these scientific phenomena were used by the mighty to further crush and exploit the vulnerable fiber of the society.
The other effects of this belief are that it has caused a lot of fear and panic in societies. It also shadows the minds of people to seek knowledge of science. This has caused underdevelopment in many African societies. When we fail or stumble in life, we make no effort again and ascribe everything to evil spirits, witchcraft, jinn, ill luck, and the like. Join us as we take the opinion of the public.
In Ghana, that we know, that we see them, because there are times when we've we've actually caught spirits that maybe they were flying at dawn, but because of lateness, you meet them and you see nails and wretched look.
In every family there are witches, and they only do bad things. But I've also heard that there are good witches that help their children to be rich, get jobs and stuff. But mostly the witches make sure that some people in the family will not develop, they won't be successful in life.
If you are selfish, you would want wealth for yourself, and you would hate to see anybody get the wealth that you want.
I believe there are two categories: the very good ones who are believers and the very evil ones who are unbelievers.
To us as Christians, we all know that when you talk about witches, specifically when you're coming from Africa, Ghana, you know that witches are spirit beings that they do bad things.
They have supernatural powers compared to mankind.
Well, I've been to churches where they've cast out demons and spirits of witchcraft from people. Yeah.
They possess people, especially those who are weak in the spirit, who who are not spiritually strong are easily possessed with those witchcrafts.
Certain people visit the mental hospitals and then they tell you somebody is harming them and you can't see the person, but when you check their body or something, you'd find that yes, pain has been inflicted on them.
Jinns have been able to go into people and make them barren, unable to deliver, unable to be successful. Some have even gone mad. And
There is one thing that we have to realize, that despite this having its roots with paganism or polytheism, it has also meandered its way into the mainstream religions such as Islam, Christianity, and the others. I mean to say that this concept has metamorphosed into many names in all religions. Witchcraft in Christianity and other faiths, where people pay huge sums of money to be protected or to get rid of evil spirits within them. Islam, for example, has been attributed to the jinn, a concept of bad spirits possessing humans to cause them to act contrary to their own will. Some also go to the extent of wearing armbands and others to protect themselves from evil spirits, jinn, and ghost hunts, and this can be found in other religions as well.
There's one thing we have to ask ourselves. When it comes to the issue of mainstream religions and superstition, mostly the poor, weak, and some women are accused of witchcraft, carrying jinn or evil spirit. Isn't it worrying that the rich are hardly ever accused of such? What is the reality of witchcraft, jinn, and evil spirit? We ask a missionary.
The fact of the matter is that the concept of jinn is found in the Holy Quran, but there is not a single verse in the entire Quran that mentions of people being possessed by such jinns, and nor did the Holy Prophet, on whom be peace, ever believe in any such concept. What is interesting here is to note that the Holy Quran mentioned that the idol worshippers were the ones who believed that people could be possessed and bewitched, and for this exact reason they used to call the Holy Prophet Majnoon, God forbid, that is, one possessed of the jinn. So the Holy Quran doesn't mention of the Muslims or the believers holding any such belief. Rather, it was the idol worshippers to whom the Holy Quran ascribes this belief to. The next question is, what then are the jinn? In the Arabic language, jinn is derived from the root word jannah, which means to be veiled, concealed, or hidden from plain sight. It is an idiom that has been used in the Holy Quran referring to a group of people who love to remain hidden from the sight of men. Jannah, paradise, is called Jannah because it is hidden from naked eye. The snake has been called Jan in the Holy Quran because generally it is hidden from the plain sight. The Holy Prophet, on whom be peace, used the word jinn referring to germs and bacteria as he advised people not to relieve themselves after attending the call of nature because bones are the food of the jinn, he said, that is germs and bacteria. The point here is that the concept of some invisible beings possessing supernatural powers is unfounded in the entire Quran, without any basis in the Sunnah and the Hadith of the Holy Prophets, and is only used to attack the vulnerable section of society for personal gains and purposes. The concept of witchcraft is no different. However, the evil eye is what we know as mesmerism and hypnotism, which exists and is known as the power of the eye and nothing else. These were all religious teachings that have been misunderstood and misused by some people in order to exploit the others and benefit from them, and history bears witness to how innocent people have been accused to settle personal scores. Islam teaches that all powers lie with the Almighty God, and to Him do we implore for help.
How has the Jamaat acted upon what it states? The Jamaat proved it with its own example.
In Ghana, there is a town called Begro, where members of the Tabligh team of Ghana went. They were told that the building was haunted by ghosts and evil spirits and was left unoccupied for nearly 50 years. In this double-story building, it was believed that anyone who stayed in it would die instantly. The place was mostly inhabited by Christians, and they also subscribed to it. The property has been acquired by the Ghana Jamaat for much less than its worth due to its supposed history.
Having heard that, it will surprise you that an Ahmadi spent days in this same room and realized that bats had settled there, and the rain also caused unpleasant sounds at night that scared people. Ahmadiyyat has brought light to millions of people and has also removed us from the webs of superstitious beliefs. The Prophet ﷺ states,
I proclaim to all Muslims, Christians, Hindus, and Aryas that I have no enemy in the world. I love mankind with a love that a compassionate mother has for her children, even more than that. I am only the enemy of the false doctrines which kill truth. Human sympathy is my duty. My principle is to discard falsehood. I reject paganism, wrongdoing, misconduct, injustice, and immorality.
These rituals, polytheism, and all these superstitious beliefs send a subtle message to all. That is the existence of God.
Human imagination can never create a concept. It can certainly imitate. That is, if someone has seen or heard or experienced something, his perception can create its image in his mind, which he can develop and expand further. However, if he has never seen or heard it, nor witnessed the like of it, his perception cannot create its image in his mind. Therefore, as the concept of the worshipper and the worshipped exists in the belief structure of every nation, inevitably we have to accept that every nation in essence subscribes to belief in God.
Looking at the concept of God and gods, the concept of prophets or warners, a cursory glance at the African history will reveal such mystery.
The belief that someone or something controls all that goes on around us exists. And so they started with things like God of water, God of fire, God of fertility. In our local dialects, Ototuro Bonsu, Tredi Ampong, Obangiji, these points to the belief in God, and the others made smaller gods are definitely attributes of the mighty God. There were people who were believed to have had supernatural abilities and also served as a guide for their kingdoms, like Okomfanochi and the others, who could heal people with a touch or speak to the spirits. It is believed amongst the indigenous people that they served as mediators between the spirits and the living. This simply points to the distorted form of prophethood, warners, and miracles. These people were sent as warners to their nations, as Allah states.
وَإِن مِّنْ أُمَّةٍ إِلَّا خَلَا فِيهَا نَذِيرٌ.
These people promulgated a true and pure belief, but over time, all sorts of innovations and superstitions have been linked to them and have given them almost godlike status.
Belief in the hereafter in our culture of practices as something that the attention of many might not have been drawn to, but it does exist.
In African culture, a lot of money is spent on funeral of a deceased person. This is mainly because we feel like this is our last rites to the person and also the safest way to get the deceased to pass on to the land of the dead or spirits in peace, meaning that the person would be free from torment and have a safe and sound journey. This in actuality is the distorted form of heaven and hell, as heaven signifies comfort and hell signifies distress and restlessness.
وَيَضَعُ عَنْهُمْ إِصْرَهُمْ وَالْأَغْلَالَ الَّتِي كَانَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ. The prophets of God have been endowed the divine mission of removing the self-inflicted burdens that men have laid on their own souls in the form of vain traditions and superstitions. Whenever humans burden their souls, Allah sends His messengers to emancipate them and bring them from utter darkness to blissful light. In this era, Allah the Exalted has sent the Prophet ﷺ, who explained the reality of natural and supernatural phenomena which wrongly were attributed as superstitions. Holding fast to this Prophet and Prophet ﷺ is key for those wishing to emancipate their souls and the souls of their loved ones. I am that water that came from the heavens on time. I am that light of God by which the day became evident. Mevo pani hu ki aya asman se waqt par mevo hu noor khuda jisse hua din ashkar.